Hi and welcome to my beautiful office. Now I'm making this video so that you're aware of the fact that you can get moisture in your R6 and R5, because it's happened to me. I don't have the understanding about how to fix this and make it not happen, but I'm just simply letting you aware of the fact. I've had this camera, the R6, for 14 months now. Never had an issue until just recently. So I've photographed in strong humidity, like very uncomfortable, sticky, horrible conditions. And I've also been in the pouring rain trying to get more arty photographs of birds. And I've never had a drama with moisture on the lens or inside the lens or in the viewfinder, anything like that. But recently I went to the Blue Mountains. Now the humidity was light. Certainly a little uncomfortable if you went hiking. You get a little hot and sweaty. Now I'm a wuss when it comes to high humidity and hot conditions. I'll put the air conditioner on very quickly. But I had no need at my accommodation, and it wasn't like the house was really well insulated or anything. It was just the fact that that humidity was very comfortable. It was nice. Alright, so I was there for 5 days. On the first 2 days it was sunny, not much cloud around, slightly that humidity, and it was same right through that whole week. The humidity never changed. It was comfortable. Went out on a long hike, took some photographs. Same with the next day. Got some nice photographs of birds going onto the banksia flowers and things like that. Never had any moisture coming onto the lenses or anything. For the last 3 days, the cloud cover came down, like really low, and it was just like fog. You couldn't see much further than 30 metres in front of you. Even when you're driving, it was quite dangerous. So thick and dark right through the whole day. It never cleared. Your head was in the cloud, acting just like fog. Every now and then get a bit of drizzle or a bit of heavy rain. Now I went out this morning at 7 o'clock down this track, trying to get photographs of birds going onto these banksia flowers. You know, it was all good, I didn't have any problems, but when I went out in the afternoon, all of a sudden I'm getting moisture on the inside of the viewfinder's lens. So that first bit of glass, it was on the inside of that. Freaked me out a little bit, wondering what the hell was going on. So after not being able to see through the viewfinder, I've gone home. Put it on the bed and checked it 10 minutes later. It was gone, completely cleared. So the next morning I go out, turn the camera on, it's all nice and clear, there's no moisture in there. Went to put it to my eye, bang, moisture, before my eye even got to it. The moisture on the lens, but it wasn't a lot, I could still sort of see, so I kept going. Same thing, went home, cleared within minutes of me bringing it into the house. And later on in that same afternoon I've gone out again, but it got so bad I couldn't see. So it was very worrying to see all that sort of happening. But you know, on the third day we tried again, went out in the morning, same conditions, a little bit of drizzle every now and then, but the camera was fine. I wasn't having any issues at all. I'd been out there for a few hours on this particular trail, waiting for birds to come back onto the banksia flowers. Went to put it up on my eye, you know, and it's all fogged up, but not in the viewfinder, and not on the front element on the lens. Had me puzzled for a minute, what the hell's going on? So I took the lens off to have a look, and there it was. on the internal glass of the actual lens itself. It was quite fogged up. I left it off for a minute and it cleared. So be wary of it, that in the rain and the right moisture conditions, that slight bit of humidity with low clouds maybe is what was doing it, that it's getting in here. That's the only place it can really get in, is a bit of a leak in there. So there's like rubber or an O-ring in there that's supposed to stop all that, but obviously it's not doing its job. Camera itself, even though our battery compartment has a little bit of rubber around there, it's still getting in. So maybe the door isn't perfect, a little bit of out of shape, something not completely straight, so it's not 100% sealing properly, or through the card door as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't happen to you. Don't know how this is going to affect my camera in the long run, whether that moisture's going to corrode something on the circuit board. I thought I'd talk about how I go about using the camera so you can understand things a little bit better. Right, so once I get to my location, I take the camera out of the bag so that I'm ready for action whenever it happens in front of me. I'm not turning the camera on straight away because I want it to acclimatise from being inside to coming outside. So it might be 10-15 minutes before I go to turn it on to take a photograph. Now I don't wander around with it on because battery life. I want to preserve as much battery as I possibly can. All the new technology in the R6 and the R5 draws the battery pretty quickly. So I'm only turning it on when my subject arrives on the scene, and then I'm turning it off once it's all finished. Now I carry the camera around like this. The big reason being not putting strain on the flange between the camera and the lens. Because if I carry it around like that, that is a hell of a lot of weight from that lens. That's the 100 to 500 RF L lens. Yeah, and it weighs a hell of a lot. So I'm not influencing the heat of the camera, heating it up with my hands, holding it all the time, you know, for an hour or more before something happens. That's not in the picture. It's not happening at all. I'm not touching it. I'm also putting a raincoat on if it's raining, and I'm taking it off for that short amount of time while I take a photograph, and then turn the camera off, and then I'm putting it back on. So as far as all that goes, I'm not causing any moisture on the lens by doing all those sort of things. What's causing the moisture is when we turn the camera on, it's heating up. So within 30 seconds, the camera's warm. So if there's any moisture in there and you're in that perfect conditions for it to develop moisture inside the camera, yeah, that's when it's going to happen. So turning it off, still being out in those conditions, never made any change to the moisture going away. It stayed there. It's only when I came home and put it inside the house, slightly different conditions, that it'd disappear, evaporate. I think I'd be pretty well on the money to say that the cause of the moisture was having my head in the cloud, being right in it, and having that little bit of humidity was enough to cause a problem. So that's something that I've learnt, and to watch out for the next time it happens, that there's a big possibility that we're going to get moisture somewhere, either in the viewfinder or quite possibly in the lens itself. Well, that's all I've got for you for today. Hope you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. And if you'd like to subscribe to my channel and get more of this amazing stuff, click on my pretty little face just down the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Hit the little bell, you'll get notification whenever I do anything else. And if you like this video, it'd be awesome if you could give me the thumbs up. It'll just help my poor little channel grow, and I'll be very grateful to you. So yeah, and if you want to go and have a look at all the other mad and crazy things I've been doing in the past, click on my icon right here at the end of this video. It'll take you to my channel. I talk about photographing and filming in a forest environment, out in the open with birds in flight. Buy cameras and camera equipment and give you my honest opinion on them. And when I go on adventures, I take you with me. So go and have a browse. There'll be something there of interest to you, I am sure. Now just remember, if you don't do, you don't get. So get out there and start photographing and filming wildlife, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.